What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Massive pump over the past 24 hours, even on a Sunday. Double-digit gains by the majority of the crypto market, XRP, with ADA doing 52% in the past 24 hours, Chainlink, etc. Can we trust the pump? Can we trust the pump? That is the question today that we are going to be getting into. So let's have a look at Bitcoin on the daily time frame before we go into the weekly time frame. And the daily time frame, this looks like a solid V-shaped recovery, which is what we were looking at on the show yesterday, obviously with the core PCE data that came out and this wick to the downside coming perfectly into the 50% level just below 80K, 79,500. And at the end of the day, 50% works extremely well. This would have been an amazing buying opportunity over here at 79,500. And what we mustn't forget as well is that the same thing happened over here with this 50% level. Perfect bounce of 49%. So going back, that was an obvious buy. We did get into the long on Friday. If you guys were watching on Friday, we spoke about that idea of the PCE data being bullish and Bitcoin pumping after that. So we are in that long from about 81K, 25x leverage. So that's up about 300%, and we are riding that. But for now, we do face a lot of resistance. Obviously, nice push up. Anything below the 200-day EMA, the cycle has been a good buying opportunity, good buying opportunity, good buying opportunity, good buying opportunity all around here. And this, at the end of the day, was a great buying opportunity in hindsight. But it's not over yet. Bitcoin is not out of the woods. Obviously, a decent pump yesterday. But if we just look at the TA quickly, we're still waiting to break this downsloping resistance, which we've been waiting for a while now. So we're still below that. We're still stuck below the 50-day EMA. And this week may be the week where we do see that push to the upside. So, of course, the 50% level from the all-time high to that wick low that we got on Friday is coming in at 94K. So what Bitcoin really needs to do this week is get above 94K and start to consolidate above here. This would be bullish, guys. This would be a bullish sign. But for now, we have to treat this as resistance. And this is a massive resistance because we have the 50-day EMA, which is angled to the downside. We have the 50% level from the recent move. So we are in the weaker half of the range, of course. And we have the downsloping resistance. So a lot here that we need to get through. But if we do get through this, this is the first sign of strength. So this is looking like a V-shaped recovery. I do like how we closed the week above this green box, which ultimately is bullish, but there is still a lot to do. There's still a lot to do for Bitcoin to break up. But I think once we do start breaking up here, we are going to move quickly to the upside. Obviously, the news yesterday being bullish with the US crypto reserve, etc., etc. We don't look too much into the news. We mainly trade the charts. But for now, it is looking good. I'm happy with this. I think we're just going to wait for Bitcoin to get above 98K. Then that should be your green flag for altcoin longs, guys. That should be your green flag for altcoin longs. But for now, we are just waiting. We are waiting. And we're going to have a look at the rest of the market in a bit. But for now, we're just going to check out Bitcoin for now. Obviously, strong weekly candle close over there. Everyone who went short expecting further downside has got wrecked. But for now, strong bounce at the 50% level, which we spoke about earlier. And if I had to draw the 50% level again, we were speaking about this 94K, and that should be more obvious over there. 94K, get about the 50% level, then we are in the strong half of the range. But obviously with a massive, we started the week down and ended the week up. That leaves us with a massive wick. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to target for a potential target of 86K, that being the 50% wick over here. So this is a target, guys. If we get bad news or something like that, then we are going to, if we get a sell-off, this is the zone that we are expecting the next higher low, 86K, guys. 86K is huge. And if we lose that level, then we are likely to come down to the bottom of the wick and the 50-day weekly EMA. And this will be extremely strong bounce, get a massive liquidation. But I think this is unlikely, guys. I think this is unlikely. I don't think we are coming back down to 78K just because of yesterday's price action. Okay, of course, it's a Sunday. I mean, I was playing golf yesterday. I wasn't watching the charts. And we did get that pump up when a lot of people were extremely bearish and fearful over here, meaning that the majority did not get into long positions. And we got that pump up, which means that most players got left behind. Most players got left behind over here. Me included, I got into obviously the Solana long and the Bitcoin long, which I'm still riding now. And I think those are going to be, trades that I do hold for the next few weeks. But the majority got stopped out of all their trades here, and they didn't get back into their trades because it was below the support. So we did expect this to be resistance, which we did break through, and now it looks like we are holding it as support. But the majority missed this trade, which means it's unlikely to come back down to there and give us a second chance. The best chance we're going to get is the 86K region, which I outlined earlier. If we do get that, that will be a gift. But I do see this just continuing to the upside, because often when this happens, it doesn't give people a chance to get back in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the ETF hype, this over here. Okay, this price action over here. So we obviously came down, slid, came down below, immediate snapback, claimed the 50-day EMA, and then we just moved onwards and upwards. So I think I could be expecting something like this to play out over the next week. And I think just the consolidation over there, people still getting unsure, people, flipping short and losing hope again. But I do see something like this happen, and then a massive move to the upside. Guys, I'm still bullish for quarter one. I haven't changed my bias. Obviously, the trading accounts did get a bit hurt over this month. This was the worst month I've had in the past 6 weeks. But that is what it is. It happens, guys. It does happen. But what I'm expecting now is a sideways period over here. And once we get above the 50-day EMA and the 50% level, and on top of this downsloping resistance, something like that, then it will be looking good. So what we can see is a push up, we break through, we come down, we test this as support. And then this is the kind of price action that we are looking. Would I be chasing price now? For Bitcoin, no. We are going to go into the Solanas and the Ethereums and the XRPs and look for potential trades, because, Solana is down 10% from the daily open today. So that is a potential, Solana down 10% of the day. We're going to have a look at, is it at support? Is it at a key level? It most likely is. But, it seems like too obvious of a long entry. Massive pump up, comes down. It seems a bit obvious. So I think, we could be waiting. So what I'm expecting now is a potential grind period again. Okay, so we've obviously had the move to the downside. This frustrated a lot of players. We had a push up, which everyone missed. Now, most likely, everyone's looking at the market. So now it's going to probably go sideways, sideways, sideways. So now is the time to focus, guys. Now is the time to focus. Okay, so if we go into Bitcoin on the 4-hour time frame, we obviously do like that massive reclaim. But we do have a fair value gap, which, we're kind of filling now. So this was the huge pump up, and then this would have been your fair value gap over there, which you are always likely to refill. So we are refilling that, and we normally fill at least 50% of that, which we have hit to perfection over there, 91, 125. So that could be the perfect retest, but you can also get a lot of sideways chop and come to the bottom. And normally what you do see is a retest of this 54-hour EMA over there, something like that. Let me get rid of those. My bad. 1, 2. So we could see a little tap of that before moving on. I do like the volume, massive volume, biggest volume that we've seen the whole week, actually. So this was Monday the 3rd of Feb. Yeah, so we haven't seen volume like that since Monday the 3rd of Feb, and that was a massive liquidation event. Everything got smashed on that day. We don't have to look into it, but I do like this volume, guys, on the 4-hour time frame over there. So this is telling me that we can trust this pump because there is volume, guys. There is volume, but can we come lower? Yes, we can come lower. So DCAing in this region over here. And coming all the way down there may be a good idea. But now I can picture a whole lot of players loading up on big longs. And, if you're longing 10x now, you may get stopped with a little flush down there. So I would be cautiously long. But a break above the 200-day EMA would be the 204-hour EMA would also be another sign of strength. So that 94K region is the region to get through at the moment. 94K, mark that off on your chart, guys. 94K is a huge region. So let's get into Ethereum quickly. So obviously massive pump up, and now we are getting a bit of a pullback today. So it's very strong move out of this range low support, which we were speaking about. And now obviously coming into this resistance over here, and then we are struggling, guys. So ETH really needs to get through this now. And also there's this downsloping resistance, which we also need to be a little bit more patient for. Sorry, this is an extremely messy chart. But basically, I would like to see ETH above the zone over here. That would be showing that, we can be seeing further upside and at least getting above this these previous lows over here. 2,600 is what I'd like to see. Ideally, 2,900 for Ethereum. This is a very messy chart though, guys. So I would be focusing more on Bitcoin for now. But, we can see something like that. And then this is where you'd be getting into something like Ethereum. But we have, we are at support. We did speak about this on Friday. If we look back and just draw it out, this is a huge support. And we did get a bounce off there. But I would be patient for now. Let's have a look at Solana, because Solana, this is the kind of price action that we were looking for. So a push up and a retest of this downsloping resistance. We are below there now, so this could be a good sign of strength, but I'm just going to make this a bit clearer for you guys. So today we'd like to see some continuation, this to be bought up, and ideally we'd like to see a close above that Monday high over here. So this is what we'd like to see for Solana. And if we have a look at Solana on the weekly, it's going to be a green candle over there. So something like that. This is the long that we are in. We didn't get stopped out. We almost got stopped out, but we didn't get stopped out. I'm going to get rid of that long, those entries there. We're still in this trade, of course. We'll be updating that later on. But again, guys, 50% of the wick is extremely likely. So 147. Mark this off on your charts for a key level. 147 over there. And we're going to 147. Is this basically the Friday close? So the Friday close, we could come down to that level again. That's obviously a bit of a dump, of course. Another 10% from now. So getting into longs now is a maybe. I'd rather wait for higher price action and a confirmed higher low on the 4-hour time frame, which we'll get stuck into now. But Solana still has a lot to do, guys. Solana has a lot to do still. Obviously, massive pump up out of those lows, sideways period. But at the end of the day, the region that Solana needs to get above is this region over here. So we're about to get the death cross, obviously the 50-day EMA crossing below the 200. But we haven't had that for Bitcoin. We mainly use that for Bitcoin, of course. But this is the key level for Solana to get above, and that's let's go $185. If we can start to flip $185 as support, then Solana is looking good for a long entry. But for now, it is very risky getting into that entry, guys, because we can come all the way down. This could be a little trap. Obviously, good news creates a pump, and then we could roll over. Nothing confirmed yet, of course. XRP, let's have a look at XRP. I'm going to reanalyze this quickly. This is looking really good, guys. XRP is the strongest, one of the strongest tokens at the moment. There is a daily breakout. So XRP is breaking that daily downtrend over here, where Solana, Bitcoin, and Ethereum are not breaking that yet. So XRP is breaking out. XRP is looking very good. XRP is above the 50-day EMA, which is a massive green flag. So where can we see price come down to? Well, if we take the 50% of this recent move over the weekend, we can come down to $2.48. $2.48 is a really good entry, in my opinion. We will be obviously touching, if we come down to $2.48, we'll be touching the retest of this downsloping resistance or declining resistance. You can see over here, a touch of that's always likely. So I think there could be a little bit further downside today. So this would be your zone, guys. This would be your zone for XRP. I got stopped out of my trade. My stop was below these lows over here. Got stopped out on Friday. It does happen. We got stopped out a lot in February. But this is looking like a really good entry. So I'd mark this off in your charts. I'm going to go with $2.50, that region over there. If XRP comes into there, I'll be looking for a lower high on the lower term timeframes, get into a swing trade, stops below there, and then it is looking good for XRP, guys. This is most likely going to all-time highs, in my opinion. $3.40. It's on its way. It's looking strong. It's holding up really well. So definitely mark that zone off on your charts, and we'll be getting into that most likely later this week. Bitcoin dominance as well, coming down, getting a bounce off the 50-day EMA. This is where we are expecting this top to form. We spoke about this yesterday, that the Bitcoin maxis were getting very loud at the start of last week over here. So that normally marks a top. So we were speaking about on Friday. And we are losing bullish momentum, guys. Obviously, we're getting a bit of a pump up today. But the RSI is coming down like this over here. So what we'd want to see is the RSI, this to bleed. And this is on the verge of breaking down, guys. It's on the verge of breaking down. This is either a higher low, and we're going to move up higher, or we're going to start to lose that level. So the crypto reserve in the US, they said there's more to come. They're going to speak more about it. And can we see altcoins gaining a bid? I think, we definitely can see that. And this is on the verge of breaking down. As soon as we lose this 50-day EMA and fill the full fair value gap over here, get some price action like that. You guys know where my target is. I'm targeting 52% at a minimum. Okay, so this is when Trump won the election. This period over here, we had that little altcoin run. That was a huge run, and that dropped 10%. So that can happen again, 15%. So I think there's something brewing, guys. There's something brewing for sure. So this would be my target one, which, March, April, we're already in March now. This year's flying. I think over the next 2 months, we do see Bitcoin dominance hit 52%, and we do see your major, I'm going to go with the blue chip altcoins having a strong run. That's going to be your XRPs, Solanas, your Ethereums, and obviously your stronger, fundamentally strong tokens, your OMs, your Ondos, and then of course the SUI, the TAOs, the ENS, the Links. I think those tokens are going to run, and a move down to 52% would be great for crypto altcoins, at least. USDT dominance getting a rejection off the 50% level. That 50% comes from that August high. Obviously, the crypto low ties in with the August high, down to the level over here. And yeah, a strong rejection of the 52%, which was expected. I didn't think it would wick so high, but I mean, that is crypto. We took out these highs, or these highs over here, ultimately grab liquidity and then come down. So what we'd want to see is a breakdown of this level over here. Still a bit to do over there. So we can see, we did close below the 200-day EMA, but what we do want to see is continuation, something like that. So if we can get below this level over here, this is obviously a huge level. If we lose this level, it is on for crypto, guys. It is on for crypto, and this can happen very soon. So what I'm seeing is USDT dominance losing the level, Bitcoin dominance losing the level, and finally altcoins getting a bid. Total crypto market cap. This is very important, and we have been analyzing this, and we did say that this is the line in the sand, guys. $2.72 trillion. If we are closing candles below $2.72 trillion, that is obviously the March highs, the previous cycle high, which ultimately we flipped into support. So this was the line in the sand. It was going to start looking very ugly, closing candles below there, which, fortunately we didn't actually close a single candle over there. Friday's price action took us down there. But I'm going to reanalyze this now. Reclaim of $3 trillion, huge. So today we need to see price above $3.7 trillion. This was the massive support, which if we reclaim it, then it looks like a massive V-shaped recovery and a fake out. But for now, we do need to still see a reclaim above that. Can we come down to 2.89 trillion, the 200-day EMA? Yes, we can. And this is the line that we need to get above, this breakout over here. And I'm going to drag this down because this is now the low. So we need to see total crypto market reclaim this $3.15 trillion, and that'll put crypto in a strong position, guys. So if that happens over the course of this week, then it'll be looking good. So what we don't want to see is, if we go to the weekly time frame, just going to go to the weekly over here. We don't want to see weekly closes below, of course, 3.72. That won't be looking good at all. But even 3 trillion. 3 trillion is also a massive level to reclaim, because if we do start to close candles below here, especially on the weekly time frame, then that is going to be looking like a deviation. And what happens when you get a deviation is you come back into the range and it can grind here and be ugly for a while. So very important for crypto to hold 2.72 to $3 trillion. This is the level that we need to hold. And I'm obviously targeting much higher prices this crypto cycle. I haven't been bearish once. And there's still another, 60 to 75% move here for the total crypto market. And this will be huge because Bitcoin dominance is at the top, and the crypto cycle never ends with Bitcoin dominance at the top. And you guys need to remember that, guys. I haven't been bearish once. Obviously, most of Jan and Feb was obviously rough, sideways grind, testing the diamond hands, guys. We're testing the diamond hands, and the hands are made of diamonds. Haven't sold a thing, and we are on it. Okay, total 3 also looking decently strong over here. Nice move up. I do like how total 3 took out that Monday low. Of course, we're like looking for a big move over here, and this is looking like a cheeky breakout, guys. There we go. So we have broken the downsloping resistance over here, and now what we want to see here for total 3 is a high low in this period over here, and then get above that 50% level. Also notice that total 3 did not take out the low created on the 3rd of Feb. This is huge, guys. This is huge. This is obviously, your XRPs holding up the market. Solana and ETH got smashed, but it's your XRPs holding up the market. It's your Ondos holding up the market, your OMs, the ones that created higher lows there. It's your SUIs holding up the markets, of course, guys. So definitely look at tokens that are creating higher lows. I think BNB is in there as well. BNB, higher lows, strong token over there. Where were we? Total 3. So total 3, I'd like to see, so we've broken the downsloping resistance. We still need to get above the 50% level. $950 billion is a massive level for total 3, and we'd like to see price action get above there, test this as support. Then we are going all the way to the top, and higher prices, guys. Higher prices, something like that is what we're looking for total 3, of course. But first, we need to get above $950 billion. So we're taking it one step at a time, guys. We're always taking it one step at a time. Others still struggling, of course. So this is your meme coins. So this is everything outside of the top 10. And obviously it was at support. We did zoom out and we noticed that, well, it is at support. So, we can't be bearish. It's obviously frustrating and it's painful, but it is at support. Here is the death cross, which isn't great. But we need to see this chart reclaim $300 billion now. Basically get above here, flip this as support, and then it'll be looking good. But for now, you can definitely be sitting on your hands and not bidding shitcoins. Okay, this is telling us that shitcoins are not out of the sand, guys. They're not out of the woods at all. And a claim of $3 billion could put a lot of risk back into the market, of course. But I would be waiting patiently, and I would be targeting your blue chip coins, your Bitcoin, your Ethereum, your Solana, your XRP, guys, your OM, your Ondo, your Binance, your SUIs, etc., guys. Those are what I would be targeting. Those are looking stronger. Okay, let's go into the traditional markets quickly. The DXY testing the previous support as resistance now. We did come down here. We were targeting the zone over here, which we got bought up quickly. But ultimately, we are looking for this to continue its bearish price action. Okay, so it is bearish price action because, we do have lower lows and lower highs, of course. So over here, lower lows, lower highs. And this is looking great for the stock market because if we zoom out, this is looking like a massive deviation back into the range. Obviously bearish divergence there on the daily time frame, which was giving us a precursor that it is looking like a bearish divergence. A deviation back into the range. Obviously price going up, RSI going down, momentum is slowing down. But over here, this was the range high, of course. This was the range low. And what it's looking like is that we had a nice deviation. We're now back into the range. And if we confirm this as a lower high, then we are looking for this to visit the bottom of the range, guys. The bottom of the range. And this should provide a tailwind for risk on assets, the stock market, NASDAQ, S&P, you name it. And of course, that spills over into the crypto market. So this a falling dollar will be bullish for risk on assets. Okay, so we are looking for this, and this is a massive move, guys. A move like this is huge, and it is likely to play out. So we just need to see a lower high in this vicinity at the moment. S&P 500 over here, it's still in the parabola. We've still been looking for a parabola to play out here. It is looking bullish. You know, we are now below the 50-day EMA. But there's no panic, guys, no panic. We still have strong levels below us. And guys, we're definitely not in a recession or anything like that. Nothing is confirmed. Nothing is confirmed. And you just, when you're closer to all-time highs than key levels, then, you do expect it to float onwards and upwards. The first cause of concern would potentially be if we lose the 200-day EMA, something like that. That would be looking scary, guys. And then we can start to look for sells. But for now, we're still in the golden cross era over here. It doesn't happen often, guys. It doesn't happen often with the stock market. You normally get your golden cross is your go signal, guys. Golden cross, golden cross, golden cross. And only when you get that bearish death cross do you see a recession or something bearish. But just know that this can go on for a while, guys. This can go on for a while. So this golden cross was 3 years, guys, 3 years. So we're only going to get hesitant on the stock market when we do get the death cross. And a precursor would be testing the underside of the 200-day EMA as resistance. That would be a precursor. But for now, it is looking good, and this would be your worry. This is most likely not going to happen. There is also fear at the moment in the stock market, meaning that it's most likely not going to come down. So it's bullish, guys. It is bullish, net bullish stock market. Obviously, the NASDAQ, very similar. This is a bit of a sell-off, taking out these lows over here. But let's wait and see, guys. Let's wait and see. So what are the news events this week? Obviously, it's the first Friday of the month, NFP on Friday. There we go. Non-farm, Fed Chair Powell speaks. So not much news until Friday, which means that we could see a sideways grind period up until then. So I wouldn't expect anything massive. If anything, I would expect continuation because, we have had that bullish news. And when there's nothing to, hammer it, then we can see continuation. So, we could see continuation just because there are no news events or, major news events up until Friday. So we could see continuation and then further continuation or a sideways grind and then whatnot. But if we do sell off into NFP, then I would expect another move up. So we did nail the PCE on Friday, guys. PCE, we said this is the bottom, and we are looking for longs. And I'm still long at 81K. Liquidation data, okay, long-short ratio at 50%. So, we can see sideways period for now. Liquidations, nice to see some shorts get liquidated. Cheers, bears, $550 million. Volume is picking up nicely. So we obviously need volume to continue the bull market. Without volume, you can't continue the bull market. So things are looking healthy again, guys. But I wouldn't be going all in now. I would be patiently waiting. High block capital suggests that, obviously the market participants are positioned long. I would expect more longs to be building and higher prices and at least bearish divergence on the 4-hour time frame. What would that look like? Well, that would look like price moving up like this and, RSI moving down. And then you could be calling a bearish divergence and for price to come down. But for now, I would just let price do its thing for now. And the levels we don't want to lose, I don't want to lose 86K from here, guys. If we lose 86K, it is going to be looking scary, of course. But this is a great V-shaped recovery, and we are above the key levels. And it is looking good. It is looking good. What else are we going to tackle today? So look at the weekly time frame on some of these tokens. So we have broken this upsloping support over here, but we could just reclaim it today and then onwards and upwards. And there is quite a bit of space upside. A lot of players were shorting Solana, of course. Bitcoin dominance on the weekly also looking kind of heavy. And this was the idea, and we are still in that area over here. So this can just be extended. But I am looking for that like alt season move to the downside, sideways grind, get some wicks involved. But let's see, guys. Let's see. It is gearing up to be a good year in the crypto market. So I was looking for a quick bull, like kind of blow off move in Q1, which didn't happen, of course. So that means that we are looking for the whole year to be looking good for crypto. So that's what I would be looking at. So instead of a massive move to the downside for Bitcoin dominance, we could just see a slow grind for the rest of the year, and then we'll have to see how it all plays out. Of course, I don't have a crystal ball, but let's wait and see, guys. But for now, I am liking the volume, guys. I am liking the volume. I am liking the reclaim. But 94K is the reason, is the region that I want to get above. Are there any altcoin requests, guys? Let's go into some altcoin requests, and then we can end the stream. So there's a Sol entry now. Okay, so we're gonna have a look at Sol in the 4 hours. So it did get stopped out of a few Sol trades. Obviously, this was a while ago in December. That one was a good trade, of course, but there's this key level over here which we are reclaiming. So this is on the 4 hour. So this is a massive level for Solana. So that, I mean, there is a debate for a long now. This is a nice deviation below the range. This is another key level over here, which we can test, and it does line up with the other bottoms across there. So I mean, Solana did actually pump all the way to that region over there. So there is a case for a Solana long, but this is the high volume candle. So if you are looking to long Solana, you don't really want to be losing these levels over here. This is where bulls stepped into the market. So you don't want to see this volume, this candle be lost, because even though there is a lot of volumes, you don't want to see closes below here. Could we see a wick below and a reclaim? Yes, we could. But if you are looking for a Solana long, I would be patient, and you could long it off the 4 hour 50 EMA. Sorry, I was supposed to open a long 4 hour 50 EMA. You can get a bounce off there. Stops would go below the wick over there, and then we can target higher prices if we are in a trend flip. So this is what you'd be looking for if you are wanting to get into Solana. These are obviously the all-time highs, and we can draw a downsloping trend line over here, and you're probably going to find that it's going to line up nicely with our price action. So there we go. So this is the downsloping resistance on the 4 hour time frame that we are above now. So we can see another test of this zone over here. Come and test the downsloping resistance. So we can extend our buy box to this zone over here. I think this would be a good value zone for Solana. And stops, if you are a conservative trader, we could have our stops below here, because we could get that wick. It is crypto at the end of the day. It is crypto at the end of the day. So, this could be your buy zone over here for Solana. Are we going to get there? I'm not sure. I'm in my long from 135, and I've moved my stop to break even. And, it was looking really good for Solana, of course. So Solana, bullish divergence, price coming down, RSI coming up, coming into the key level of that 130 to 120 zone. I was in my long from earlier, but I was comfortable to hold it, of course. But this would be your buy zone for Solana. You know, we come down in here. You can even get some buys in over here. But, you know, stops, you don't really want to see price come underneath that 133 level over there. It's obviously quite far. Of course, it's a massive move down. But you never know with crypto. Often these pumps can be quickly retraced. They can be retraced over there. Rejection off the 200-day EMA. So let's wait and see, guys. This is a trade setup or trade idea. But this could also just be looking like a strong move. If it is a strong move, we come down to the 50% level at 159, which we already have. If we move this up over there, you know, perfect bounce off there. So if this is the higher low, you know, if price is just going to grind in this period above $160 in the zone, above $160, we might not see that leg down. But, you know, this is the high probability trade. This is the high probability trades that we speak about. We don't want to FOMO in now. But, you know, if we do get a break above there and it confirms that we are in, then we can be looking for longs off the 200-day EMA. So we're not going to rush into anything now. 50-day EMA is the lowest price the highest price that I'd be getting into a late long on Solana. Okay, so Ondo fair value gap at $1.08. So let's have a look at Ondo. Yeah, okay, so this is a decent fair value gap. This is the whole fair value gap over here. So we are currently in that fair value gap now. Can we come down to the bottom? That would be a treat. Of course, Ondo around $1.08 was our target. You know, we got stopped out of this trading idea. But, you know, this is looking good for Ondo, guys. This is a key level. Let's go to the daily time frame for Ondo. Ondo is one of my biggest altcoins. And this was a key level that we were targeting over there. We did come a bit below. This is why spot is king, guys. Spot is always king. Let me just neaten this up. So if we zoom out on Ondo, it is looking good. It is looking good in my opinion. Let me get rid of these 50%. This is a key level. I'll get rid of that. This is a key level as well, but I'll get rid of that for now. So if we look at Ondo, you know, obviously we came into this key zone over here. This looks like a massive accumulation phase where whales got into the majority of their positions, obviously pumped it up. They probably sold a bit of a distributive pattern over here. Came down. This was resistance, massive wick down, which we actually took all the liquidity from anyone who bought Ondo and put a stop below the wick. That's been taken out. But Ondo needs to get above the 50-day EMA and break this down sloping resistance, and then we'll be looking good. So something like this. So for now, we are above the 200-day EMA and testing it as support. So this is what you'd like to see for Ondo, something like that. And once we get above this level over here, $1.48, $1.50, then it is A for away. You know, we can see a high low in the zone, and then off we go. So the level to get above for Ondo, let me just get, here we go. So 50% from the high to the low. Okay, so that $1.51. So as soon as Ondo gets above $1.51, it will be looking really good for Ondo, and you would expect higher prices. But yeah, I've been bullish on Ondo. I like Ondo. Fundamentally, it is a great project to invest in. If it doesn't pump now, it will most likely pump over the next few years. It just partnered with MasterCard. So a lot of bullish hopium and news here, of course. Still, you know, it's below the 50-day EMA, so we'd like to see price get above there. But decent accumulation, guys. Ondo is a good accumulation. Okay, Sui looks underpriced. Can we long? Okay, let's have a look at Sui, because Sui is also one of my big positions. Daily breakout over here. You know, this was a long trade given. Fake out over there. Okay, so let's have a look at Sui. So I do like Sui, of course. And you know, let's find out what the macro 50% is. So we'd go from these lows over here to these highs over here. And the macro 50% level is just below that $3. So we are holding that macro 50%, which, you know, we are in a stronger half, and we are fully bullish. We got bullish divergence over here. There you can see price coming down and RSI holding up, which means there is momentum, and it'll be more clear on the line chart. So if this looks choppy and messy, you just take out the line chart and you do see lower lows, of course. So, this is looking like a decent trade. I think the risk to reward is quite good. And spot looks really good here, of course. But what we want to see for SUI, stay above this downsloping resistance, form a higher low in the zone over here, and then just start to move. And if SUI can get above this level over here, it'll be looking strong. And I am looking at all-time highs, at least all-time highs for SUI, if not higher prices. But obviously it has had a nice pump, so people can be rotating. But I would expect, can we see this $2 region for SUI? Of course we can. We can see $2.20 easy. But we are just looking for a macro higher low. So something like this, higher low, and then continue to climb the stairs, guys. We're going to climb the stairs. This is looking really good. Macro really bullish. High, higher low, higher high, higher low, and macro in a strong position and a strong structure. So long SUI now, it's looking underpriced. Yes, right now would be a good time to dollar cost average, in my opinion. Obviously, no financial advice, but I would be dollar cost averaging if you still have dry powder and some sideline liquidity. Okay, let's have a look at WIF. Dog with hat holding up well. It's looking like a bottom over here, little rounded bottom, little bullish divergence, price coming lower, and the RSI holding up over there. RSI is above 50, so I am looking for. I think dog with hat's gonna pump. Would I pump? Would I, go all in now? No, but the risk reward isn't bad, guys. You would expect at least a move into this level over here, giving us a risk reward of 2.35 to 1. But your ideal trade would be, price comes down to that 66 cents, then you can be getting into it. But I'm not looking for this to pump, guys. I think a lot of people, including myself, will be selling the majority of their WIF in the zone over here. Okay, so what you got to think of is, imagine you bought WIF at $4, at $3, then you are underwater. So, this isn't looking good fundamentally. We've taken out the July lows, so this is macro bearish. So if this pumps into the zone over here, a lot of people will be offloading their WIF into stronger projects, and yeah, you will most likely see a lower high in the zone over here, and I would say the 50% level over there. $2.67. That is where I would be offloading the majority of my WIF. So there's not a bad trade here. There we go, 7 to 1. Spot is probably good on this one. But let's see, guys. Let's see. Okay, so look at a little Litecoin long. So Litecoin's holding up really well. This is bullish market structure, of course. And once we break these highs, it is looking like it is going to pump. It's very choppy though, guys. It's been very choppy, so it's hard to get an entry. But an entry in the zone over here. You can get an entry in the zone over here. Stops will go below here or below the 200-day EMA, and we are targeting higher prices, of course, for Litecoin. So this is what your Litecoin long setup would look like. Stops over there. You entering in the zone over here, and then we are targeting this level at least. So there's a lot of good risk reward at the moment, especially with spot. Spot risk reward at the moment is great. It was even better on Friday, but today after that little move up does look decently good. So you could buy now, and you get a risk reward of 3 to 1. But I would be looking for this level over here. That would be my perfect entry. Okay, guys, I'm going to end the stream there. Thanks so much for joining the stream, and we'll see you guys later this week. Stay safe out there, and remember, key level for Bitcoin, 94K. We need to get above 94K, and things will be looking good for the crypto markets. Stay safe, happy trading. Don't risk more than 1 to 2% per trade, and we'll see you on the next stream. Cheers.